As the days go by, I'm always thinking of your face. Your hair, your eyes, your sweet lips, and the way they taste. You got me going on a high that I have never felt. A beautiful thing. This thing we got is so amazing. What I love the most is how we can talk and how we laugh and the fact we're so close. You remember your first time being in love? Let's talk about it.
Ain't nothing wrong with you, just remember you're special. Feeling hopeless and alone, just remember there's always God there to be there to help you. Put in effort, make mistakes, no one on this earth is perfect. Trials and tribulations both in life are guaranteed, but in the end it's all worth it. I'm hoping and I'm praying this is something relatable and the words are beneficial when someone out there can understand what I'm saying. Mind, muscle, motivation. Let's stop playing. Share it with the nation.
Hello, hi. Give me a minute of your time. Do not pass this by. You know that time flies. Might as well seek into the suggestions that may enhance your mind. Mind, muscle, spirit, motivation. Every video I try to give motivation to the mind, to the muscle, and to the spirit. This video is a little more fun. Not so much of life lessons, but a little bit of a reflection. And in that reflection, the lesson, I guess. So never mind what I said, okay? It's going to give you all those things. But it is fun. You might be with your significant other. You may have a significant other, but it's okay. It's okay, okay? Hopefully they're mature enough to be able to watch this channel and be able to reflect on their first love. So let's get into it. My first love. I don't want to correlate my first love into losing my virginity. I would like to think, well, I don't know. I'm a guy, so we don't necessarily correlate love to getting up in that thing. But listen, this is what I'm gonna do. The whole puppy love thing, that doesn't really count. You're young. You don't know what love is. But my first love, listen here. I'm going to tell you now, I'm able to say it without any shame. My problem is I go after looks. And I always end up with somebody who's pretty. And that's not something for me to brag about, but it's just something that I've always had. So that was my mistake right there. But when I sit here and I reflect on my first love, she was cheating the whole time. She was cheating the whole time. Of course, I didn't know. I was loyal. I was faithful. She didn't go to the same school, which was probably for the best, because then she would have been cheating and playing your boy right there, and I would have had the homies that was probably all up in it right there, and I didn't know. But she was doing that the whole time. And you know what? I can also say, without any shame, the relationship involved a lot of horizontal activity. And that was a mistake too, because of the fact that it was kind of long distance. So when we would get together, that's what we would do. And that's pretty much all we do. The amount of maturity I have now compared to then, obviously it wasn't love. And if I knew now, back then, I wouldn't have stayed in the relationship. But the simple fact that I didn't, I stayed in it, and it didn't last long. It didn't last long. And like I said, the puppy love thing, I don't want to go into that because it's puppy love. I mean, is that your first love, your puppy love, your first kiss and all that? I don't know. This is me, okay? If I sit here and talk about your first kiss and all that, I'd probably be here all day. But Do I remember my first kiss? Um, I think so. I mean, I kissed her on the cheek, but the actual contact, I think I was. I should have known these answers before I created the video. Yeah, I don't know. But that doesn't mean I've kissed a lot of girls, okay? I just don't remember. So it must not have been that much of a mind-blowing 4th of July fireworks type of experience. Obviously, it wasn't. Otherwise, I would have remembered it. But I'm just gonna go by what I said already. But that's what the relationship was. It involved a lot of horizontal activity, and it's funny because I'm about to figure out what this says about me. The relationships in the past that I'm able to talk about that I considered love, they all were involved with a very attractive female who had the assets that catch my mind, and it involved distance. It was always mysterious. It was always that time apart that I guess it kept me in the relationship because I knew that there could be some improvement. And because of that, I stayed. And because of that, I always gave them the benefit of the doubt, even though I knew, I knew that there was red flags. I knew it. But I stayed in it. Why did I stay in it? I don't know. When you're young, and I'm not trying to say all guys are the same, but I am a male. I do have a high level of testosterone even back then. I don't say this with being proud or arrogance, but I know me, so I'm able to sit here and say that. But those type of relationships, those type of relationships I stayed in. Those type of relationships are what I call love, and I say that with shame, because back then, that's what I correlated to love. So, of course, I've changed. Of course, I've gotten better. Of course, I know what love truly is. And any relationship that involved a high level of attraction, any relationship that I had that involved a lot of horizontal activity, any relationship that had cheating, toxicity. I'm not saying that word right, but you know what it is. I consider those relationships love. So obviously back then I didn't know what love was. And listen, believe it or not, I'm loyal, I'm faithful. The temptation back then, it was there, but I didn't fall for it. And all those things had an effect on me because those things pretty much made me into your typical guy that we're labeled as to this day. You know, the whole all guys cheat, no guy can be faithful. And it sucks because if females can say that what is done to them, they end up doing, why can't us as males say that as well? I'm not saying I'm a cheater. I'm not saying I'm unfaithful now, but I'm saying those things being done to you, you then do it to somebody else. Females say it all the time, so why? Anyways, that's not to say the here nor there, and that's for a whole nother day. But my first love, it was that. It wasn't love, but that's what I thought it was. And as I reflect on it, golly, I was young and absolutely dumb. I like how this video started off all, interesting, and then it got serious, but that's what this channel is for. Improvement, getting better, trying to make progress in life. But back then, that's what I thought was love. Now, the relationships that didn't involve that, I had one. I had one relationship that didn't involve that, and yeah, we kissed, but it didn't involve any horizontal activity. Uh, I was 14. You know what? That's why I'm glad I'm making this video, and I hope that whoever's watching can go on this journey of self-realization as well right now at this moment. But I think my first love, now that I say it, now that I'm able to reflect, was when I was 14. Yeah, because all those other relationships, I wasn't in the fetal position, like literally crying. And in that relationship, I was. And the relationships that involved the horizontal activity, the attraction, and the cheating, I might have stayed in those, but the relationships that didn't involve all those right away, those are the ones that hurt me the most. And even the person I'm with right now, it didn't involve all that. Were they attractive? Yeah, like I said, the attraction is something that I need to, well, I can't work on now because, I mean, you know, your boy is in it for life. But that is something that I'll fall for. You know, it's the reason why my son looks the way he looks. So, hey, hopefully you watched this and you took that as a comment that the whole world now knows. Damn it. But at the age of 14, I think that's my first love. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Listen, her. And golly, I don't even know if I should talk about it. I can talk about it. We're mature, and it was literally godly. I'm 32, 14. That was 18 years ago. Damn it. All right, so she wasn't from here, which, like I said, is always perfect. We did go to the same school. She was 2 years younger than me. Okay. She was a little younger than me. And look, it's something about quiet, well reserved. She wasn't introverted because she was outgoing, down to earth, but I'm not gonna sit here and give all the quality traits of her. But that was my first love, okay? And what was funny is that I ended up being real good friends with her brother, and so I got to see her more through him. And listen, it was just cool. It was just cool. I mean, we had a good time. I would go to. Oh no, man, I'm tired. Golly. I would go to spend the night with her brother. Not just to see her, but I would see her, obviously. And I wasn't using her brother. I mean, come on, guys, I wasn't. But I was good friends with her brother. And even after the relationship, I was good friends with her brother. So one can't sit here and say, oh, he used her brother to see her. Nope, because I was still friends with her, with him, even after the relationship ended, even knowing that she was with other dudes. So, but yeah, my first love happened when I was 14. I don't want to go into detail because, yeah. And you better not get mad. You better not get mad. I'm talking about the female I'm with now, the relationship I'm with now. You better not get mad because, again, this happened a whole lifetime ago. And if for whatever reason the person I'm talking to ends up seeing this, again, it was a whole lifetime ago. And it was puppy love, okay? Never mind what I said. Puppy love is love, okay? And it happens when you're young. So that first love, it absolutely cuts the deepest. It absolutely cuts the deepest. Now, am I able to really call that love? Yes, I am, because we didn't do any horizontal activity. And if you're with somebody and there's no horizontal activity involved, then you got to have something for them to keep you there. So obviously she had something held towards me that was latched onto her that kept me in the relationship. So I genuinely had feelings for her, and I'm not gonna talk about it, but something happened to where we couldn't see or talk to each other, and I cried. I was literally in the fetal position, and my dad, I mean, he doesn't look like the sensitive type of man, but he was, he told me don't cry over a female like that, and while I was in there crying a river, he came into my room and he gave me that comfort, knowing that it was going to be okay, and I did end up talking to her again. Why the relationship ended, I really don't know. I really don't. Like I said, I was young, maybe a little arrogant, even though I was an introvert. And I guess when things weren't going my way, I'm not talking about horizontal activity, but when things weren't going my way, I don't know. I think I just got a little mature too quick, too soon, and we ended up ending the relationship. So, what can you do? And listen, when I say there was no cheating, because we went to the same school, and there was no, there was no horizontal activity. We were young, okay? And it was a limited amount of time that we actually got to spend together. And when we did, she had an older sister. Uh, there was parental, I don't know what you call it, but there was always somebody there. We were never alone. So, like I said, um, it was genuine feelings there, genuine, and we did do something that really jeopardized the relationship. I don't know what were we thinking, but we sneaked off, trying to see each other, golly, in the middle of the night. And of course, there's a curfew in the town that we live in, but we tried doing that. I mean, we were young and dumb. Like I said, we were in and over our heads completely, because the amount of danger we put ourselves in. When I reflect on it, good Lord. Um, I can I I'm shocked talking about this, because again, this was 18 years ago. I did not have the amount of maturity level that I have now. I don't think I had any maturity level at all back then, and neither did she, of course, because again, we were young. But yeah, the relationship ended, and golly, was it love? Because we got into different relationships not too long after. Lord have mercy. I know what love is now, I think. Oh, this is funny, y'all. Hey, I'm not perfect, and I've always said I'm not no guru. These titles that I come up with, I don't always have answers to, and I'm talking about it with you because I'm trying to figure myself out and help you figure yourself out as well. But we got into our own relationships and we grew and all that, this and that. But that's how my first love went, and yeah, at the age of 14. What do I have to say about it now? I don't know. I don't have too much to say about it due to the simple fact that I'm in a relationship now. So I'm going to end it there. But do you remember your first love? A lot of people don't. I didn't at the time. I spoke about the relationships that I remembered, just because of certain traits that the relationship had and involved. And godly, ain't that just makes you want to shake your head, don't it? Because of the simple fact that we always remember what's bad, what's not good, and the things that are good we forget. I'm not the only one, damn it. I know I'm not the only one. But what that says about us as humans, we hold on to what's bad. We're loyal to disloyalty. And everything that's good we can forget about, we can replace and move on and forget about at the drop of a dime. And everything that's good for us, we're not entertained by it, I think. I think everything that's bad, we tend to be entertained by it. We tend to wanna fix what's not right, and we tend to continue to break when we're already broken, and when we have something or someone that can help us be fixed, we don't like it because it's boring. Lord have mercy. I can't begin to sit here and count how many times I was told that I was boring in relationships and that's why they left. Lord have mercy. But I remember my first love. I didn't at first, but I do. And the relationship I'm in now, it's solid because I'm not interested in anyone else. So of course I have to throw that in just in case she watches this because I don't want her to look at me a certain type of way when I sit here and I can actually remember certain things that happened in a relationship that happened 18 years ago. I have to let it be known because there's no feelings or anything, nothing like that. But what does this have to do with mind, muscle, and spirit motivation? Because in the mind, okay, if you were like me in this video and you got to figure yourself out, there it is for the mind, muscle, motivation. The heart, because your heart is a muscle. Okay. No, I think this is more so with the mind because even though it's talking about your first love, you're able to figure yourself out through the different things that I try to talk about. So for this particular video, I got to really figure myself out, emotionally and mentally, because like I said, I was remembering all the relationships that were bad. It's a shame. I might look at myself a little differently in the mirror. I'm not gonna have any type of self-condemnation because I was young back then, okay? And you may be somebody who was young back then and did the exact same thing that I did. But, you were young. You now know better, hopefully. And you know now that if you have something or someone that's not always entertaining, that's not always giving you what you want, don't go thinking that the things that will are what you're supposed to have, because it's not. Because a lot of times what you don't want is not what you need, and what you need may not always be what you want. So for the summarization of this video, you can take it with that right there. A lot of times what you need is going to be boring. A lot of times what you need is going to be what you hate sometimes. But that's what life is about. Because again, when you want to be better, when you want to improve, it's boring. Sometimes you'll hate it. And that can be through people, that can be through someone as well. So I'm proud with the end of this video, because I got to figure that out. See, I didn't have it figured out in the beginning, but that's the whole point of this channel, is in the end, when I wrap that thing up, you're able to learn something, maybe learn yourself. That's the great part. You get to learn yourself. And that's what I'm always trying to do with every video, getting to learn yourself, getting to figure out something about said self. So with this video, I got to figure out myself, I got to learn, I got to reflect, and I got to get better. Thank you, Jesus. I got to get better. That's what it's all about. So mind, muscle, spirit, motivation, like, subscribe, share. Hopefully this was fun. Hopefully it was fun. Hopefully you got to figure yourself out. Hopefully there was a lesson learned. And hopefully it's another step to getting better together forever. Hey, until next time, again, like, subscribe, share, stay blessed. Go Lakers. Boom. LeBron James.